Hi everybody, it's Granny J Clay, and I thought I'd make a brief video this evening for you folks. And what I'm using is the Primo Pearl and the Primo Cobalt. I love that cobalt color. Anyway, the two together will be really pretty. And I'm going to make what I call raindrops, blue raindrops on the pretty pearl. And then I'm going to use a texture pad or a sponge and roll it through the pasta machine. And it's just going to be very, very simple. And then I'm going to cut it out with this cutter, cut several out. And I'm going to make them into just little, let's see, how big are these? These are about a 1/2 inch. This is about a 1/2 inch across. So I'll press it down in the clay and then punch it out like that. And we'll have about a 1/2 inch little tiny circular beads, and you could use them for earrings. You could use them for a number of things. But let's just get busy here and let's start. I already rolled it out and I already processed the clay, so it is prepared. And I have a little cutter here, and it looks like a raindrop a little bit. And so I'm going to use that, and we'll see what we can do. And I'll just start right down here. And if you see some scratching on the clay, I see some right now. It's not going to matter because we're going to use a texture sheet to roll it out. But let's just start. Let's make some of the raindrops and just see. I'm not sure how many I'll need, but I'm just going to press it in there, and we'll see. We'll see how many we get out of this. And if we need them all, we need them all. If we don't, we don't. That's okay too. And of course, you could turn the cutter and do more this way if you wanted to. It really wouldn't matter. In fact, that feels better in my hand, so I'm going to just do it that way. Hope you've had a good day today. We have had ants at our house. So my husband had already lined up some person to come in and take care of that for us, and they actually did still come out and do it. And so it was nice to have them come out and spray a little bit. And it was not a poisonous thing for dogs or for adults, so that's a good thing too. All right, let's pull this off. Let's see how many come up when I try to pull it off. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. Do you see all those raindrops? They're kind of pretty. All right, now the only thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to lift them off and just place them. I'm going to start placing them on, just like that. And not really any specific order. In fact, I'll just jump around because that's how raindrops are, aren't they? And I think I better start pulling them up with the razor or with the blade, because I'll put those over there. Otherwise, I distort them too much. So I just had an idea to do this. Like I told you before, I want to make several little pieces of clay instead of so many big pieces of clay. And I have a friend who lives in Des Moines, Iowa. She's an artist. Oh, she is such a good artist. And she makes jewelry out of beads. And I have a wonderful sister-in-law too that lives here, and she makes jewelry as well. So we have been able to get together, and not very often, but we make jewelry together, or we pick out beads together. I just got all my clay beads out one time when they were both visiting over here, and I said, go ahead, just pick. You can have whatever you want. And they seem to like the smaller pieces. And and I get that. So I think I'm going to just try to make things smaller, because they can make earrings. They can just do all kinds of things when you have a small bead rather than a great big bead. You're kind of limited with a great big bead. And to be honest with you, for me, less is more. So that's okay by me. So I'm going to, this is maybe, I don't know, 3 by 3. It doesn't matter. You can make yours whatever size you want it to be. I rolled this out on my Atlas 180. The pearl I rolled out on a 0, which is the widest. And the blue I rolled out on a 4. I wanted it thinner, and I'll show you why in just a few seconds here. I'm going to burnish these down, and then I will roll it through the pasta machine after that. But isn't that pretty? Isn't cobalt blue beautiful? Oh, I think that's so pretty. I'm gonna get some extra blue there. That's okay. Let's see, maybe I can do this. I'll just go like that and kind of do this. Okay. And you may not end up using all of this, but I'm going to try to use it all up. We'll see what happens. Put that there too, and I'm going to cut that off. Hopefully, without making too much of a mess. Let's see here. Where else would I like one? Maybe here, and maybe here. Oops. They're sticky. They stick to my fingers. So I wonder what you've been doing today. You can tell me that in the comments. I'd be curious to know. You really do have to come up with things to do during the day, don't you? I talked to my mom. You guys probably, I hope you don't mind my telling you about Mom all the time, but she called me twice today with help. She can't call me by herself, but she does have a phone in her room, and thankfully the staff helps. Okay, I'm not going to use the rest of these, so I'm going to just move them out of the way. Kind of wipe up the blue that's there. Put that over here, and then I'm going to move this more up toward the middle. Like that. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is take a piece of wax paper, and I'm just going to lay that over it, like that. And then I'm going to take one of my burnishers. This is my favorite one. And I'm just going to very slowly go in one direction, go up, so I can sort of elongate the raindrops a little bit, rather than going in circles. I'm just going to go up like this. And I can feel bumpiness as I go over it, and so what I'm trying to do is to get it to a point where it's not too bumpy before I run it through the pasta machine. Usually when I burnish something, I would go like this in circles, but because I want these to get longer and not shorter and not get fatter, I'm just going in the one direction. So we'll see how this works out. All right, now I'm going to pull it off. Oh, I can see right there that one didn't get down very well, so I'm going to see if I can get that back down. Have you ever used a burnisher? I've got this one. I've got a couple of other ones I may have shown you. This is my favorite, however. Okay. Now when I run it through the pasta machine, again, I am going to run it on the widest width, which is, like I said, on my Atlas 180, it's 0. So let me see if I can pull this up over here. I'm going to wipe my blade off a little bit. Okay. And let me see if I can get it up easily. Okay. So that's what it looks like right now. And let's see here. I have these two, and I'm going to put, maybe you can tell, this is not as pronounced as this is. So I'm going to have the back of it be this more unpronounced, and this a little bit more pronounced on the front. So you can see what it looks like right now. It's smooth, and most of them have been burnished down into the clay. All right, and do you notice there's some little marks here and there, but that won't matter because it's going to change the looks will change once I pick it up and run it through the pasta machine on the widest width. Okay, let's see if we can get this through here. Oh yeah. Now, this really elongates them longer, and maybe you can tell, but isn't that pretty? I know they don't really look like raindrops because they're kind of big, but I just thought that was a pretty shape, so I'm just calling it a raindrop shape. Anyway, and then on the back is that. And I can see that I have a little bit of blue off of my piece of glass there, but that's not going to hurt it either. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of saran wrap, just plain old saran wrap, and you probably know this trick, but you put it over the clay very carefully, stretch it out a little bit, and it makes a little bit of a beveled edge when you begin to press on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a card over here, and I'm going to put some of my cut ones onto my card. So I'll just go, I'm not going to do it any special way. I'm going to start out in the corner, and then I kind of just twist it a little bit. You see that? And I just want to make sure I get some blue on each one, which shouldn't be hard to do. I don't want them matchy-matchy at all. I don't want them to be matchy-matchy. So there we go. All right, let me just take that off a minute so you can see. Let's see if I went all the way through. Sometimes when you do that with saran wrap, just like that, it doesn't go all the way through. So you can easily come back and push it down, give it a turn, and then you hold your plunger, and I'm going to just push it out, and I'm going to very lightly take it off. And when I put it onto the card, I come and I smooth around the edges a little bit, because I don't want a rough edge at all when I make these into either a necklace or earrings or whatever I'm going to do. So I'm going to start putting them right here, and you can tell, I'll put it back here. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to get some of these up, and then I'll just smooth them and smooth them and smooth them like that. Just very lightly, very, 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 very lightly. And if you wanted to, you could do something else with these. Even though you have a back on it that has some texture to it, and that would be a pretty little earring. It really would be. You could take these. Oh, there's some extra clay on that one. I'm going to just try to get it off before I rub it a little bit. And just let me get this off here. Okay. You could put them back to back like this, and it would be a heavier earring. And I think I told you before too that I'm going for lightweight. I like lightweight things on my ears, and I think other people do too. You don't want to get a sore ear when you wear a cute little earring. So we'll just put those right there, and I'm going to cut a few more now. But you're getting the idea, and you could put any print on there. I've got other ones that have stars and hearts, just plain old circles, that too. Let's see. So the choice is yours. So basically what I'm doing is I'm digging out my small clay cutters and trying to make use of those. All right, let's make a few more, shall we? And I know I started to say something, but I lost my train of thought. Does that ever happen to you? Here we go. Okay. I did video talk with my granddaughter last night. She lives in the same town, But of course, I can't go see her. And I have 3 grandsons that live with her, so she's the only girl. But we did a video chat last night. That was so nice. It was good to see her just even on the video. And then her mama came in. My daughter-in-law came in while we were talking, and she just laid up on the bed with Lauren, and Mama did. And we just had a nice little chat about life, what's going on. I have a grandson, their son, who's supposed to be graduating from high school this year, and he will. However, due to all of what's going on, this makes me sad to even say it, they are not going to have a graduation ceremony. In fact, now his last days and many of the kids' last days, those who are going to be graduating, have been kind of stolen away from them, and that makes us sad. But we are going to do something, and I'm not sure what that is. Their dad has started something at the high school with some other men called the Fathers Club. And I am so proud of our son. Anyway, so they started it at the high school, and they're getting dads to get more involved in their children's lives. You know how it is, mamas? We tend to get a little bit more involved with school because dads are working, etc., etc. Well, now moms are working too, and so my son and another fella decided they would, they talked. They both had the same vision, and they talked, and they got this Fathers Club going, and it has been amazing, amazing. And almost every high school now in town has them, and it's spreading to other towns. Such a good thing, such a wonderful thing. So supportive to the principal, to the teachers, to the children. I mean, it's a win-win all the way around. Anyway, so the Fathers Club is trying to think of something, a virtual graduation, I don't know, something for those kids that are not going to get the graduation ceremony, and and it's hard on the parents too. This would have been their first child that was supposed to graduate, so that's hard. That's hard on them as well. It's hard on Grandma and Grandpa too. Made us sad, but what are you going to do? They will look back at this time and tell their children their stories, I guess. But you know what? They've had so many wonderful family moments now. They go out in the yard, they have little campfire in their backyard, and so they've had some wonderful family time that they may not have even taken time for before. You know how that goes. When you're in high school, all you want to do is see your friends, and family kind of comes second. Well, now we have to stay home, and we see more of the family, and that's a really good thing. Hard thing, when you're trying to keep the kids from going anywhere, but it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this turns out, I just keep praying and asking the Lord to bring this to an end quickly, Father. Yeah. Okay. And of course, I pray for those who are losing loved ones. Oh, I can't even imagine how that feels. Just horrible. Just horrible. That one's hanging on. And I'm going to do all of this for you because I want to show you something at the end that you can do with the leftover clay. But aren't these pretty? Here, I'm going to put more of them over here so you can see them. And most of the edges are pretty good, actually. All right. So let me bring this into view a little bit here. And that one too. In fact, I'll just put them over here for now, and then I will straighten the edges out a little bit more after I'm done and off camera. But I just wanted you to see how pretty they are. So you can see how you could do a star or a heart, excuse me, or even a circle. But I like this one where you get kind of the look of a teardrop, sort of, a raindrop. Okay. All right. Need to push it over a little bit further. You can get several out of just a little piece of clay too, which is rather nice, I think. Now you would drill these later. You know, if you wanted a little hole in it and make an earring out of it, you would drill. I mean, you could add two together to make a cute earring too. Let's see if I have any more. If I can get any more out of here, I think I can. Okay. My grandson put on Instagram today a picture of his high school. It just got me, what he wrote. He said, "The fastest 4 years of my life." Oh gosh. You know, I think when he was going through it, he probably didn't think that, but it's interesting how, you know, you can reflect and go back to that now. And that's how life is, though, isn't it? When you're going through something that maybe you're not very fond of going through, sometimes high school can be that way. When you're done and you look back, you realize what you had and what you took for granted, I think, sometimes. Okay. So here we have a whole card, a little 3x5 card filled. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, and I want the blue on top, so I'm just kind of going to push it together like this. Now this isn't going to look like those. In fact, I'm going to move that over. I'll put this over here on my tile so I can take it to put it in the oven after I'm done and off camera. And I put everything in the oven at 275 for an hour, and I cover it. I have a little tin. You can either use Reynolds wrap, tin foil, or I've got a tin pan that I've kind of arranged over it, which works just fine. So I'm going to push it together a little bit, and then I'm going to take my little plexiglass thing here and kind of push it down, push it together, push it together, together, and together, push it down again. And this is going to be the back because there isn't as much blue. So, like I said, this isn't going to be just like the other, but I don't want to waste the clay. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to push on it kind of hard and get it to flatten a little bit more. And then I am going to take, I want this on the top and this one on the bottom. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that just like that. And I'm going to run it again on a 0, or the widest part of my food processor, and bring it through. And as you can see, it looks different than the others, but very usable. So I don't want to waste it. So let's do some more of this. Let's cut a few more now on this end. Let's see if I can pull this apart a little bit. I would imagine that most of you that do clay know this trick with the saran wrap. And especially if you have a couple of layers of clay. If I had this layer and then put another layer under it, and you used a saran wrap and pressed on it, it would give you a beautiful beveled edge. I used to do that for my bigger necklaces. So let's see, where should I start? Maybe right there. And right there. Like I said, this is pretty easy. It's not any It doesn't take a lot to do this. Let's see how we did on it. If we got through the whole thing or not. This one, no. Okay. Okay. All right. And I have enough to even make maybe 2 or 3 or even 4 more. I'm not sure. So I'm going to do that too. Let me just get these out of here, and I'll fix the edges later, like I said, when I'm off camera. Because they, you know how they have a little fuzzy edge? Let's see if I can show you one of them. Do you see the little fuzzy edge? You probably can't see it. Anyway, there's just a little bit of clay accumulated on the edge. Okay. Just put them over there. And here we go again. Now I'm going to push this together again. And this is for those of you that don't like to waste clay. You know, I had just... okay, I just rolled that one in a ball. You can do that too if you want to. Okay. All right, let's get these out here again. And I think that side or this side, maybe this side. Okay, we'll do that here. I like to get it down toward the end. Again, run it through the pasta machine on the largest setting, which for me is a 0. And here we go. This side, I think. Maybe you're already thinking of something you could do with these. You know what else you could do? You could turn one upside down. You could put a toothpick over that and press this down on that very lightly, but yet still it would have a hole in the side. You could make a necklace out of that. You know, you'd want to make sure you smooth the round edges of it out after you did that, and then you could easily remove the toothpick and bake it. Okay, let's try this. But you could make several of them and then make a necklace. I think that'd be pretty. Okay. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty, but you can see that it changes the look of the clay. And I'll bring my other card back here in a minute. With each time that you make use of your leftover clay. See? All right, and I'm going to do it one more time. And this time I'm just going to press it and press it. Okay. And let's see. I think this is going to be my last one. Anyway, if any of you have grandsons, granddaughters, kids in high school and you want to know how to start a father's club, if there's any dads that would be interested in starting that, I think it'd be great. Let me know and I'll put you in touch with my son. And they're not trying to displace the mothers. What they're trying to do is catch up with the moms, because they've always been, and we're going to get one more out of this, they've always been so good about helping at school, and you know, that's just how it is. It's just how it's been. But now, it's an amazing thing to see these dads step up and have great enthusiasm about it besides. So, in fact, they even got Chick-fil-A at the beginning of the year this year, and I think last year too, to provide breakfast sandwiches. And several dads, the first day of school, and then I think every 3 months or so, they get to the school really early before the kids do, and they hand out, you know how many kids go to school without breakfast? A lot. Anyway, they hand out these Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwiches and give the kids a high five. Isn't that great? I just think that's so great. Anyway, I'm proud of my son. Can you tell? Okay. And I think actually I could make one more. You're probably getting tired of me, but it shows you how you can use your clay up too. You know, so let's just try one more here and see what happens. Let's see, there we go. Maybe I can get one more out of this. Okay. Yep. And you know, you think about this. When this virus thing is dead and gone, which I'm praying for, you could make a bunch of these and you could make them into earrings and drill holes into them and take them and hand them out at a nursing home for those that have been working. Oh my. God bless those who work in the healthcare system. Nurses, doctors, everybody. Everybody. All right, let me just show you the difference here. Okay, here we go. See how more vibrant these are. Very, very nice. I like that blue. That cobalt blue is something else. All right, let me just move them over. And yeah, let's see, stretch that over there. Do you see that? Yeah. Some of them look a little more faded here, and then even more blue than white or than pearl. These are definitely my favorite though, the ones I did first. And I'm going to try some other colors like, well, green and yellow and pink, just spring colors. I just think it would be really pretty, really pretty. Okay. Well, that's about all I was going to show you today. One of the ladies who watches suggested that I combine the doing clay and then reading out of the Bible, but I think I'm going to do them separately. I was thinking, yeah, that would work. That would be nice, but I think I want to do, I want to do it separately because God's Word deserves its own time, I think. So, I hope you like this. It's easy peasy. And I hope you make some little beads that can be made into earrings or put them back to back and make them into a bigger bead or a thicker bead for a necklace. Even a bracelet if you use the stretchy string. That would be cute too. All right. Well, that's enough for tonight. I have talked enough, and I hope that I didn't bore you completely, and I hope you have a great evening. God bless every single one of you. We'll see you again soon.